You guys asked for it, and I'm giving it to you. Another special edition of Roadcast on Jeremiah Wonders. Very excited, guys, to announce that I will be headlining some shows on my own. I'd love the support if you can come out. Saturday, November 16th, Huntington Beach Rec Room. Come see me there. Locally, it's adjacent Orange County to LA. November 29th through 30th, Thanksgiving weekend, St. Louis, Missouri. Please come out and support. It's my first time headlining that club, Helium Comedy Club. Friday, December 6th, Reagan Watkins is headlining Comedy Palace in San Diego and bring the Kill Tony Band. We're doing stand-up sets as well. And December 19th through 21st, I'm going back home to Kansas City and headlining at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. So get tickets for that on my website, jeremiahwatkins.com, or go to tonyhinchcliffe.com for the Kill Tony tickets that are available right now for Kill Tony Mania in Sacramento and San Francisco, Australia, Kill Tony DC, Ohio, and New York, all coming up before the end of the year. A great way to support the show is by going to jeremiahwonders.com and grabbing a t-shirt or a sticker or some vinyl or something like that. Or you can do what our pal Zach Richter did. He just Venmo'd me a little bit of money, which I appreciate. And my Venmo is at Jeremiah-Watkins. Thank you for everybody who's listening, viewing, however you're consuming this podcast. Keep subscribing, youtube.com/JeremiahWatkins. I appreciate all the love and the support. I want to get into this special edition of this Roadcast episode. One of the fanning out questions, I forgot to include one of the people who shifted my life in a very positive way, and that was my wife. So, Jeremiah, wanted to include that here in the intro. So, just to clarify that. Without further ado, let's get into this special Roadcast edition of Jeremiah Wonders with Joel Jimenez, Brian Redban, and his girlfriend Janice here on Jeremiah Wonders.
I would love to edit, dude, on the one with Pat.
Were you just sleeping, Brian?
Wait, Brian, if you're sleeping, who's driving?
We're in Redban's Tesla right now, and he's seriously not even eyes on the road right now. It's a little alarming, but it's okay.
He really has his eyes closed.
He really does. Wow. Technology, people. We're back on another Jeremiah Wonders Roadcast, and we have very special guests today. Brian Redban, Joel Jimenez, and our most specialist guest, Janice, is joining us today.
Specialist!
Yeah. We finally get to hear from the...
I know Brian's not really sleeping because he's not farting at the same time.
Would you say that Janice is your better half, Brian?
Better half.
Wait, what?
Hey, guys. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I said, would you say Janice is your better half?
Way better half. Way better half. Better than the other halves I have.
How many halves do you have, Brian?
Yeah.
Better third?
Brian has 4 halves.
Yeah, dude.
And no knowledge of what halves are.
Well, cows have what? 4 stomachs?
Wow, the halves and the have-nots.
And bison have 6?
Do bison really have 6?
No, I want to start that rumor, kind of.
Oh, that's a
Cows
good rumor.
do.
Did you see that Facebook post where somebody was selling their bison collection?
And I said, for the love of God, please buy this. Because there was so many bison figurine.
Oh,
Who
man.
collects that many bison figurines? There was like 20 different bison toys.
Wow.
Dude, it was like somebody had like an old settlers landscape or something that was in their house. It was pretty cool. I was like, wow, this is...
If you actually got that for Tony, you'd probably be like, what am I going to do with all this?
Yeah, like, where am I going to put all this around my house?
Yeah.
We're headed down to La Jolla right now to do 2 sold-out Kill Tony shows. So, yeah. When was the last time you watched an Eddie Murphy movie and you're like, this is good?
Shrek? I don't even remember. I don't even know of an Eddie Murphy movie lately.
There's this one that came out where he played a serious role, where he played kind of like an alcoholic who was looking over. What was it? He was looking over somebody, like their daughter. That is like Mr.
Cosby?
Mr. Murphy?
No, it was
Just
some. I forget what it was. It was all right. His
Little
acting
known
was
fact,
good.
Brittany Murphy was actually his daughter.
Oh wow, that's wild, dude.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Taking over. This is construction.
Whoa. And it just went from safe to very unsafe. Actually, Brian's a pretty good driver.
Yeah. Maybe on this podcast he'll open it up on the road and we can see
Oh,
the
dude.
acceleration.
It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild whenever it literally feels like.
Yeah, it still scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, because Redban will just like hit that pedal and just. I was about to say gas pedal, but it's not a. We in a Tesla. This is what the inside of a Tesla looks like. That's pretty cool.
I don't think you guys have actually felt like for an extended period of time too, where you like
where
excels
he
and excels
really
and excels.
opens it up. Fuck
It
that.
feels weird.
I'm sure.
Stuff starts getting real blurry.
Does it feel kind of like a roller coaster a little bit?
Kind of,
like
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
like,
it
oh,
actually
like you start
does.
feeling like the G forces or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. It's actually a beautiful Sunday. I feel it kind of feels like a bizarro weekend because like I usually take Sundays off, but I took Friday off because I was like, we're going out of town on Sunday and then we have to start the week so quickly again with another Kill Tony
Yeah.
tomorrow. So
And our late show is like at 10 o'clock, which will probably be like 10:15, 10:30. So we're probably
Shut
not
up,
gonna get
tonight?
home till, like, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know that.
yeah, our late show is a 10
Wait, so
o'clock
when's
show.
the first one?
6:30, I think.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Whoa.
7:30, 8:30. So yeah, I guess why did they have it so? Oh,
Whoa! Oh, a new feature on the video, a tracking feature.
I was telling Jeremiah you could probably just hit like a podcast button in this car and microphones and a camera would just pop out of the console.
Yeah. What's your favorite feature of the Tesla?
definitely the self-driving, but probably the just being able to you feel like you're driving for free, like a charge for free. You know, there's chargers everywhere. Also, there's like a community when you're charging and other Tesla owners. It's like kind of like we're all like a little family or something. Like the other day, JD Witherspoon, I don't know if you know him, he was charging up. You know, the charger I go to, Jack Black, I guess, is always there and stuff. And when you're charging, you just all kind of hang out and talk about Tesla. It's weird. It's like a little community. It reminds me of the early days of Apple, I guess. I know there's people just like stabbing their heads right now, but yeah, it's cool. I like it. But yeah, the speed, I guess. What's really weird is that it has like no motor, so you're not going like first gear, second gear, third gear. You're just going like 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds, you know? So when you're on the freeway and you're like, there's traffic, darting in and out and like trying to get around cars and stuff, it's like Tron, like that movie Tron. It's like, it's so accurate and fast that you feel like you got like a cheat code. And it kind of kills cars for you, though. Like, I have a Civic also, and when I try to drive the Civic, it just feels like a dumb car. Like, it's just like, this is stupid. Like, it kind of ruins. Like, if you get a Tesla, it's really hard probably to go back to a regular car after it.
Well, let's hope that we keep going on the up and up.
Right. 2 years later, Brian's driving an 82 Renault Alliance.
Wow.
Dude, this camera angle is actually kind of cool a little bit because it feels kind of wide angle and you can see through. You can see how much glass there is on the roof. There's like so much.
And here you can just put things like topics and
Put topic. Oh, like little scroller, like a news ticker thing. Brian
Our
just pooped his
Instagram.
pants. Oh, once again.
My favorite feature is the fart feature where you can
Oh, can you do that?
put it on for the turn signal, and you can also whoopee cushion people, right?
So that's the same one.
Yeah.
Fart on demand. Have you ever heard a more perfect sentence for Brian?
Crank that audio. Oh, the music is still on.
Okay.
1 second. Mute the music. Here, pause that.
Let's see. Let me just go back and turn. So if I turn on the...
It's okay. So if you turn on the whoopee cushion,
I don't know why it's so quiet.
DJ Fartbox.
Oh, boring. Oh, here, I'm so random. So anytime I use the turn signal, it will fart. But you could also put a whoopee cushion on somebody's seat. So...
Oh, Jeremiah.
Wait, do you have our seat warmers on too, Brian?
Put it over there like that by the speaker.
Have we talked about this before on this show? How Brian puts the seat warmers on and makes us think we're losing our minds?
We are literally driving Brian Redban's dream vehicle. It can fart on command,
Yeah.
and he can hit it at any
And
time.
there's an Asian woman in the back seat.
I just
I'm a Smoke.
She came with a car. Not a lot of people know this, but
Oh my goodness. I just keep thinking of Jack Black charging with you. Dude, it's like I'm driving for free. Yeah. Tesla did it.
oh man.
Another good thing is because there's no engine and there's just wheels pretty much, that there's so much trunk space. Like the front is just a huge trunk. The back has like 2 layers of trunk. It's just pretty much all trunk space because there's nothing else. So, no
So many places to put bodies and different things like that.
fart machines.
My drums.
Yeah, your drums.
David Deere's in the trunk right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Ryan J. Ebelt is drawing us right now. Janice actually runs the Twitter for Kill Tony, which I like. I really like when you get snappy with some people.
Oh, do you
who are
really?
doing-
Do you get combative?
I got a little bit more in the beginning.
I love it when you do that because it reminds me of the Wendy's account, how they like are a little bit combative. Yeah, I like that because it's sometimes you'll just respond like, if it's a dumb enough question or something, you're like, well, okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Can you say can you bring up something that you have done, or Jeremiah? Is there one in particular that you found really funny?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, well,
Just if they ask like questions that have been asked so many times before, it's like, when is the or are there any shows on the road or like what is it? I don't know.
yeah.
Some of
Oh,
them.
are you guys going to live stream on the road?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, no,
stuff like that.
we never have all these comedy clubs that we go to rarely have good Wi-Fi. And and they actually Brian had actually, didn't you have to talk to the store to get them up to speed, like to actually make that happen so we can live stream there?
Yeah, we've been working on the just the Wi-Fi for Kill Tony for a couple years. They've gone out like a couple times. I even had to I didn't think the internet was ever going to get fixed enough to be able to live stream. So I had I know the president of T-Mobile, name drop, and John actually sent out his T-Mobile team once, and I forgot to tell the Comedy Store, but all these guys with like these radars and all this equipment came out, and the Comedy Store's like, what the fuck is going on? And luckily they let him in, and they went through every single room to see how they could improve the signal there, so maybe I could just use T-Mobile instead of the internet. So, but luckily they got the internet fixed, and T-Mobile's really great at the Comedy Store.
Were they checking for dead areas? Like,
yeah, the problem with the Comedy Store, I think, is that it's probably all lead paint and like crazy shit, like iron walls and
great.
stuff.
I'm
'cause
glad
the
we're
building's
breathing
so
that
old.
in every.
Yeah.
we get silly.
Dude.
I love this drive to down to San Diego. It's so nice every time. Like we'll reach a point probably in like another 30-45 minutes where it's just coastline.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like the beach, and that's like my favorite.
You feel the
part
air
of the
getting
drive.
better and better.
I know the air quality improves so much.
What's the line you always drop when you see those? It's from Naked Gun.
Yeah, the boobs
Yeah.
from Naked Gun. It's the 2 nuclear reactors, and it's like everywhere I go, I can't stop thinking about her.
That's right.
That dude, I really miss those kind of movies.
Me too.
Where there was a joke like every line
Yeah.
almost. It was insane.
I miss Leslie Nielsen, man.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen was one of my favorite people, and so was O.J. Simpson. Honestly, before he did all that shit, I used to love O.J.'s character in
Allegedly,
Naked Gun.
Brian. He's been acquitted.
Like he was great in Naked Gun. Like he was like the perfect. It didn't seem like it would work on paper, but he was perfect for the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah, he was really good. And we were just talking, you, Janice, and I were just talking about how we watched that new Phil Hartman ABC documentary. Did you guys like that?
Yeah, it was great. I didn't know a lot of the details. Like I didn't know about the drug use, and I didn't know, I couldn't remember a lot of this stuff. So it was interesting to see how it was all played out. I forgot that he was in Pee Wee Herman. I hadn't even thought about that in a
yeah.
long time. I also learned something about the dating game, which is I didn't know he was on it, but I also didn't know Steve Martin was on the dating game.
Dude, I want to see that footage so bad.
So that's something I need to, I was like, mental note, YouTube that, try to find that
They
episode.
did it as contestants.
Yeah, they did it.
Oh,
They said
whoa.
it was.
Bring that back.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
The
that'd be
dating game?
really fun.
Yeah.
Actually, they
The
said it
Tinder
was
game?
like the Tinder game. They said it was kind of like a rite of passage in Hollywood. Like it was almost like if you did well on that show, then because you got to be naturally yourself and funny, then it was almost like an audition for other things because they could kind of plug you into things after that. Like, oh, Phil Hartman and obviously Steve Martin and different stars like that. Like, oh, they're likable and they're really quick on their feet and they know how to connect with an audience right away. So, of course, like we should put them in commercials and other things like that. I didn't realize how many commercials Phil Hartman had actually been in.
Yeah, he was in like video, like ice hockey for Nintendo or something like that. And there were so many random commercials I had no idea. So it was cool to see that. It was really cool to see a lot of the old footage. I also did one of those things after I watched it. I looked up Phil Hartman's kids, and now they're like grown adults, and I followed them on Twitter and Instagram and kind of stalked them a little. And it looks like the son is like a huge Star Wars nerd, like he's selling Chewbacca shirts and stuff like that. And the daughter is like this beautiful model, like looking girl. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I was telling you guys before when we started the drive that what was throwing me a little bit too was those old news radio cast photos and stuff, and just to see how young Joe Rogan was, like, and how much smaller he was too. Like, it was like he was in shape obviously, but he's obviously, you know, every year gotten like stronger and bigger. So that was
powerful,
kind of
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it was before he was powerful.
Before he was woke.
Yeah. We just rewatched Fear Factor, his old episode.
Oh yeah? What was that like?
Good. It's good.
He's a good host, man.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
really
a reason why he's a great podcast host. It's funny to see him eat the stuff though. That's when I'm like, oh.
Did he eat some of it?
Dude, he would do it a lot, like the cockroaches and different like.
That.
Oh, I remember that. Like,
he's very encouraging.
He used to do it to encourage. Like if somebody was chickening out, he'd be like, "Look, I'll eat the cockroach."
Oh,
you know?
shit!
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
And this was before I knew that he was even a comedian. I was like, this guy is crazy. Like, I would watch and he just turn his face and he'd just like muscle it down.
Yeah.
Is there any game show that you would want to host, Jeremiah? In a perfect world?
Oh, that's interesting.
I know
Which one?
And they just brought it back. Also, Press Your Luck. That was always my favorite, like with the whammies.
Oh, no whammies. Yeah.
Huh.
I love that one, and that'd be fun to do. Or any kind of like game show where it's like I like all the basic bitch ones, like the Hollywood Squares. I was a huge fan of Hollywood Squares.
I would love to do Family Feud.
Family Feud would be a good one.
Because all Steve Harvey does is just make fun of them for being dumb. He just looks at the camera.
It's pretty
like
great.
These idiots.
I like the $100 million pyramid too. Or what's the number? $1 million.
Oh, okay.
The $100,000 million pyramid. That depends like where you grew up. Like it was syndicated in different tax brackets for different people.
$20 pyramid, or $20 stamps.
Yeah.
Coupon pyramid.
Dude, that'd be a funny parody of that show where it's just like really poor people questions.
The rations pyramid.
Yeah, the rations.
Oh man.
You find a book bag at a Denny's.
We just were at a Denny's, and Joel had the courage to open this backpack that looked brand new, that was in the corner of this Denny's lot, and I was like, and then
courage or
Transport.
stupidity. I should probably be smarter about shit like that.
yeah, and then no joke, 5 minutes from when Joel looked through it, a guy on a bike that looked like a gangbanger came up, slung it over his shoulder, and then rode the bike away.
Tattoos up to his jawline.
Yeah, it was
Right.
it was pretty intense.
You were gonna say which game show you wanted to host, Jeremiah?
Oh, I would say, I don't know. I kind of would like to, maybe a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh, that'd be cool. I could
That'd be-
see you on that.
That'd be pretty fun. But maybe also something like American Ninja
Oh, that'd be
Warrior.
great.
Because
That'd be so fun.
I would be like, I would want to be the thing. Like I would take the technique that Joe used in Fear Factor.
You would do the
I
thing.
would do the thing. I'd be like, it's not that hard, and then I would just like
just fall into
because
the water.
because I imagine what it's like. It's like a carnival act. You know those carnies who are like, they demonstrate the game.
yeah, the
they're
ladder ones and
there
stuff.
every single day, so they know the tricks and like ways to not fail, basically. So I feel like like it'd be so funny to see the host just go do it. It's like, yeah, see, it's not that hard. And then see like yoked out people like failing doing it. I don't know.
I've always wanted to see when we were doing the Kill Jeremiah thing, you and Tony go head to head on a Ninja Warrior course would be amazing,
that'd be incredible.
That'd be fun.
That'd be so fun.
Jeopardy's about to open up soon.
Oh
Are
yeah,
they're coming back? Jeopardy?
I'd be.
No, because
I don't know anything. I'm.
Jeopardy's still on TV.
Oh,
No, I
okay,
mean,
never mind.
I was making a mean joke because the host has his cancer came back.
Oh yeah, he's got Nancy Reagan black boobs in his butt.
Yeah. I'll take life-ending illnesses for 500.
I'll take things that I wish you could scrub from a podcast for 200.
My bad.
Wow. Janice with the cutthroat.
I know. I was just thinking that. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense why Brian and Janice date each other. How long have you guys been together now?
3.5 years. Yeah, 3.5 years, right?
Yeah,
a
something
little
like
more
that.
than 3.5 years.
Wow. How did you guys meet? Because I don't know if I even remember how you guys met.
Snapchat. We met on Snapchat. The only
Wow.
thing that's good about that app is that I met her on it. She sent me a message like once, like a DM, and I forget. Do you remember what you actually said in the DM, the first one,
I
or?
forget.
But she posted a photo of herself, and I was like, Asian, no.
Bring, 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 bring.
And I invited her to come to a show, and I think you did, but you
I
didn't.
brought a couple friends, and then they had to leave because work or something like that, so we just left.
Yeah, so she didn't even
without
say
saying
hi
hi.
to me. She was like, "Oh, I had fun, thanks." And I'm like, "You didn't even say hi to me." And then she came back another time, I think by herself,
Yeah.
and then I got to talk to her. And I remember the first thing, and I thought this was so weird, is that she was chewing nicotine gum, and I'm like, "Oh, you quit smoking?" And she's like, "No, I just do it for the buzz or something."
Whoa.
Well, I was
Whoa.
bored.
You're
Well,
like, this chick is hardcore, dude.
Do you ever hit that vape?
no.
Okay.
I almost don't even do anything now. Like, don't drink, don't
Yeah.
smoke. I used to microdose,
Uh-huh.
but like really, what's the word for it? I wasn't exact about it, so I would just
Like
kind of
weed?
guess and
Can you
miss
explain
sometimes.
microdosing to me? Because I still don't understand what that is.
Well, it's when you take like enough, like a small enough amount of acid or shrooms that you don't get hallucinations and you're fully functional in everyday life, but it
Alleviate anxiety.
yeah, it
and-
does that, and it like
But then you,
it's like a nootropic almost. It
but
makes
then
your
you like
brain function
you
a
add
little better.
more and more every day. Like you're supposed to like you take a little teeny bit more the next day and a teeny bit more the next day, and to
You
your
have to
body
be-
just gets kind of like used to it.
But it helps a lot of people. Like a lot of people in Silicon Valley do it to like help with their brain function. Like they're using it
Dude.
instead of Adderall or
It's
whatever.
like a very new age thing, right?
Yeah, and people are doing it instead of antidepressants.
I think I'm ready for fucking DMT, man. I think I'm at the point of my
Really?
life. I think I want to try it.
Really?
Yeah. What? Why are you shaking your head, Brian?
I'm just, the older I get, the more I think that shit like that, like, you have one brain, and
Yeah,
and
I
it's
know.
fucking with your brain, know.
Yeah.
And I just know so many people, not really on DMT, but I mean, I guess so, but
Acid
like they
changes.
just fuck their brain up for life,
Yeah.
It might not be drastic or anything like that, but it's. I don't know. I know one guy that used to do acid so much that he fried his brain so hard.
Well, yeah.
He's just now like a McDonald's employee,
Oh,
and he
man.
went to college with me, and he had a degree and everything. Now he's just like, hey, dude. And you're like, it's just like, oh, what?
I think
Not-
that guy was
not
on Kill
everyone can
Tony the
handle
other day. Didn't
Yeah, like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
And when I used to go on the road with Rogan all the time, all those DMT guys would come to the show, and
Yeah.
you could spot them out, and they're like, oh yeah, I did DMT 7 times this week.
I just want to do it once.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. I'm kind of done with most shit.
Have you ever done it?
No, but I did the beta test of it.
Okay.
The salvia.
Okay.
When they were
that's-
when the government was testing it out on.
I've never
I
heard
did.
a good.
I did the demo version of the drug.
When it was
Pretty much.
safe, before they had nailed it.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good recount of salvia.
Yeah,
though,
me
from
either. I
anyone.
heard it's awful.
Everybody tells me that they didn't have a good experience on
Yeah.
it.
Well, they worked out the bugs, and then they made it DMT.
There was a lot of people who I went to high school with in Kansas who thought that they were buying weed and it was salvia,
Oh,
so they would
man.
smoke it and they would just like trip and freak out and stuff because obviously they were thinking of they were gonna get high and then they just started spazzing
I can't
out.
believe it's legal.
Yeah.
It's like catnip for adults.
That's so
Yeah,
weird.
that's crazy. Yeah, I think, I don't know, what interests me about it's like I'm always so anxious that I wonder if just once, if I could get some sort of like peer into like what's really important and sort of like strip the ego away and stuff. That's what I've heard it's good for, but I don't want to be like a DMT burnout.
If you get rid of any more ego, though, Joel, you're not going to. You're just going to be a fish.
I mean,
Oh my
that's
God.
a very nice compliment to Joel.
I don't know. Somebody, I saw a comment the other day of like, on one of my drum battles, they're like, "This is why he needs to lose. He's getting too confident." And I'm like, dude, what do you do? Like, you want me to be? You trying to tear me down? Like, you know how long it took to even feel confident about this shit? People
Come
are
on,
just
Cracker Barrel kid.
haters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, bye, bitch.
How have you been feeling about your stand-up lately, Joel?
It's been good, man. I'm trying to, the biggest hurdle lately has been trying to get outside of myself and sort of like be funny without the words, kind of channel that on stage where I'm not just nervous, like where it sounds like I'm reading.
Right.
Yeah, so that's been the biggest hurdle. I've been like trying to write new stuff and do as many spots as possible.
What'd you do that last time?
The barrel roll. I
Yeah.
did like when we were in San Diego, I was like, well, maybe I'll just do like a roll on the floor at the beginning to try and just get me into that like loose feeling.
I thought that was a great idea. So like right when he went on stage, he would just for no reason just roll on the ground, like do a barrel roll, and then get up and act and not even say anything about it and just start going into it. But because of that, it woke him up out of his. Sometimes Joel gets in like this monotone version of his act where he's just like, "Hi everybody," I just like kind of like Sarah Weinstein, and that barrel roll I think wakes him up and from the beginning, so he gets out of it. I think it's a good idea. I think you should always do that, Joel.
I did something last night where this is just like a mistake that I think it's easy to make sometimes as a stand-up that I hadn't done in a long time, but it reminded me like, oh, whoops. You ever like not get into your set quite fast enough and the audience like and then you say something that they don't jive with, then they're like, oh, we don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I was 30 seconds in to my set last night in the OR, and I realized, like, the first thing I said didn't really get a pop, and I was like, okay, well, that's a new opening line that you guys were not into, and I had to comment on it, and then I had to comment on it later. I was like, you guys really did not like that first thing, and you're holding... I was like, these other jokes work. I know that, you know what I mean? So I had to like win them back the rest of the 15-minute set, and luckily it ended well. But it was one of those things where it was like, it's amazing how you constantly are learning and reminded about little technical things. Like if you don't connect and get them right away, sometimes there's some crowds that do not give you leeway, and you're like, oh, I'm a little bit screwed right now. I got to play catch up.
Yeah, I want to I'm trying to tighten up everything. Like I did a show on Friday night where I did like a little over 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like it was a good pacing, everything worked. And so I want to do that with the rest of it and put together like a 15-minute thing that is like, heavy hitter shit. So yeah, I don't know, but all of it, yeah, confidence and not being monotone and stuff like that will help my ideas work better, I think.
Channel your inner Joelberg.
Yeah, I know. I think about you saying that every time. I see you, Brian, Tony in my head every set I do. Right before I go up, I'm like, jeez.
Joe.
Wait, what do you guys think of yourselves?
Well, whenever we think of if it's like a flashback to like Sandlot kind of thing,
It's all
where they're
positive
like all
stuff.
like,
No, it's not negative. It's just like, hey,
Joe, we support you.
Yeah,
but it's like
yeah.
scary.
Now I think it's just like he's like, no, it's not like that. So now we're just like, oh, hi, Joel.
yeah,
I'm up here in your head.
Hey,
oh, that's funny.
Joel, it's good to see you again.
No, get out of my head.
So, what's with this new stuff you're working on?
Oh, I don't know. I just wanted to work, I guess. I don't know.
All right, well, we'll see about that.
Oh man. So anyway, I was at the grocery store the other day and
What are you doing, man?
No.
You tired?
Redban just did a cutesy shoulder shrug
Yeah, I like that.
for you audio listeners out there that made me laugh pretty hard.
Oh man.
Oh man, we've got another. So Joel and I were just meeting the other day at my place, and we started planning
Oh god.
the character sheet for this next month and a half because we're kind of
Ooh,
just
goody.
about to be upon our fall tour, and it's a lot of Kill Tonys
25
coming up
things,
again.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of editing from Mr. Brian.
It seems like we're just gonna be mustache guy this time. We should tell people that what that is. We always have to like pack costumes and our clothes for the week. And one day Brian was like, it's gonna get to the point where like you just bring a mustache and you go, I'm mustache guy. That'd be good. I'll be mustache guy.
Yeah, just super bare bone. We literally start running out of character ideas
I'm
entirely.
a guy with a fork.
Yeah.
You want to know something that like I just thought of? But every episode of Kill Tony, there's a part right before Tony goes to Joel and goes, all right, who do we got back here? And Joel does the exact same thing every episode. He always goes,
I stand up and I go, you
You
motherfucker.
know, like-
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say this time? Because I know he's gonna roast me. Oh, you look like a caramel macchiato. Or like, oh look, he's Joel's just
Dude,
Mexican.
that is so true. It's almost like you could play a sitcom like Joel.
Oh,
Cast
you
me.
should play that.
That's
That'd be
That's
funny.
partly why I do it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I love.
Or someone should be like Tony.
Hey Tony.
I love when you play that sound effect, the Redban sound effect.
Is it the whoop 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 whoop?
Oh no, it's literally like Redban.
I love Trash Band.
Oh, trash can.
You're your trash can.
Brian's like, yeah, that's that's one of my favorites. Yeah, sure.
I gotta admit, I love when they put the light on you, dude. And you're always just like, put your hands up.
Oh, well, it also feels like one of those like 80s police movies where a prisoner is escaping from the yard and then they shine it right on like the guilty guy. I love that.
Oh man.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the drive coming up right here. It's all coastline.
Turn the camera around up here to check out the titties. Turn the camera around and check out these titties coming up right here.
Oh, the nuclear plant thing? All right. 1 second. Let me grab this. Oh, okay. I see it in the distance.
See the nipples.
Yeah. All right. I'll turn the camera around so you guys can check it out.
Are you gonna have to blur out any license plates?
Fuck their license plates.
So Jeremiah is now pointing out our drive, and we're about to coming up on around this corner. We're about to go hit the boobs, which are nuclear power reactors, which is weird to think that those things could blow up and kill us all at any minute. Here comes the corner.
California, Chernobyl.
Oh, you can see them right there coming up, those big ass titties.
Hit the quote, Brian.
Everywhere I go, I can't stop thinking about her. Looks like there's been some tree growth.
Some bush.
I think it's been distracting drivers for so long that they decided to plant some trees in front of it.
Oh man, could you imagine someone just got to jerk off right now?
There they are.
Look at those
that's a good
sweet titties.
Nice
Look at
and
that.
symmetrical.
Wow, look at that American flag too. This lady next to us, she's about to... I think it's Tia Carrera from Wayne's World.
Oh, by the way, Tia Carrera came to the Comedy Store recently, and I got to meet her and get a photo with her. She looks exactly the same. Asians.
I don't know who that is.
Cassandra.
You've never seen Wayne's World?
We're not
No.
worthy. We're not
Oh,
worthy.
I love when the guy's like when he's going Zita Pinduwa, he's learning Cantonese, and doesn't the guy like scrape the side of the anyway, whatever, dude.
No, it's a great scene.
Good scene. Weird impression. I don't like that I just did, but it does say that's what he says. All right, back to you. All right. Okay. Can we scrub that from the podcast?
Cool story, bro.
Oh, man, Janice is one of the boys now. She roasting Joel in the back, man.
I just got karate chopped.
Whoa.
Karate's not even the right.
Not even the right term. Joel, you've been training a lot of jiu-jitsu lately.
Yeah, it's been great.
You said it's been good for physical and mental health.
Yeah, for sure. It's mental health. Anytime I'm like dying in the gym, I'm like, oh, I'll feel better tomorrow or later. It's awesome. It's good. It's like walking a dog, I guess, for me. Any sort of physical stuff is like really good to just calm my brain down, and then if I can learn how to kill people with it, I think it's like a double bonus.
Dude, I've never rolled my ankle in my life, and last week, I don't know what I did. I literally don't know what I did. I woke up the next day after I had gone on a hike when my ankle was like bugging me a little bit, so I was like, maybe I'll stretch it out on this hike. The next day, I went to go play basketball, and I could not like put full weight on my ankle, and I had to like ice it and elevate it and do the whole rice thing for
you were
like a
limping
week.
on Monday.
Yeah, I was wearing like an ankle brace when we were Russian breakdancers on Monday.
Was that from playing basketball?
No, I didn't even go play basketball. I was like, I can't even put weight on this right now. So I was just like resting it all weekend.
Getting old.
We find out Jeremiah works for like a foot fetish website.
I was jerking off my own foot. Oh,
I rolled my ankle having too much feet sex.
Yeah.
Anyway,
dude, that's fun. That's a funny fetish to me. That some guys like 2 feet around their penis, just like
It is weird.
no
like
comment.
stroking it. What's the weirdest thing you're into sexually, Joel?
I mean, I don't know. Let's just say I don't kink shame anyone.
Whoa, that
for
means
anything.
Joel's got some deep cuts.
No.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
I'm still in my head about when you
Hello,
asked me about
hello.
jiu-jitsu, about saying if it
Well,
helps me kill people. I was like, I don't want to kill people.
Oh.
And so I'm still just thinking about that. I
Red-
think that's like the mildest of the
Redban's making the
fetishes.
Italian buca de beppo reference with like before it becomes a little fist in the butt. You know, like the hey, there's some good pasta.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah,
inside
like,
there.
hey, forget about it.
Forget about don't tell anybody I like this. Hey, hey, just a little hey, a little exploding pasta in your butthole. What are we doing? Is that fettuccine? Oh man, I got excited. Sorry. Is that my Alfredo? What's happening?
I need more gravy.
You know, I call sauce gravy. That's what we do.
Oh man.
Come on, man. Oh, dude, there's I've seen a couple movies in the theater recently. I saw It Too.
Wow, bragging. No, I'm just kidding. I
And-
saw it too.
You saw it?
Yeah.
I didn't like the first one. I like the TV one.
I love the TV one. It's just the perfect amount of like,
Yeah.
and the clown is so scary.
Tim Curry came into Janice's old work once.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't think she knows who he is.
Yeah, I do, but he didn't come in. Oh yeah, he did. Can I say where I worked? I used to work at the Smokehouse restaurant in Burbank.
And he came in there. That's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
cool.
you don't work there anymore?
No,
Oh yeah,
I
that's
quit.
right.
But you know, he's not in like too good of a shape right now, but he seems surrounded by a lot of good people.
He's
so
a
that's
really good actor. He's so, oh my goodness. He's a great character actor. I'd love to play like some roles like that where it's something like crazy weird like Pennywise,
Yeah.
and then also just like great like comedy roles as well. That's fun.
Janice didn't tell you what happened though, because he's in a wheelchair and stuff, and I guess he has a straw to move, and he sneezed into the straw by accident, and he hit a wall. It just went right into a wall. Like,
Are you serious? Dude, I swear, Brian has gotten me so many times. How many thousands of lies have you told me where, like, I believe it? Like, I don't know. I always forget that he tells these fake, really believable stories.
but it's always like real quick. Like I tell you immediately. Like, no, I'm just fucking.
Yeah, so it's like, so I like toss it out the window. Oh, yeah.
Your guys' 2 truths and a lie was good on.
Oh, did you like that podcast?
I thought your I couldn't tell which one of yours was fake or not.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's funny that was real.
I
Yeah.
gotta see that.
But we did Felicia Michaels and I guess Jessica Wellington's podcast and Felicia Michaels, but Jason Tebow was co-hosting and Brian and I were on an episode. It's like a 2 truths and a lie kind of podcast. And we both basically told 2 stories. One of them was a lie, one of them was real, and they had to guess which one. And Brian told some really fun stories. So that's you have to check that out because I don't want to give anything
shit,
away.
I just spoiled it.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
God damn it.
Oh, that's all good. Listen out for Brian's.
Oh man. Well, can you bleep out?
Oh, I guess I could. Yeah.
Bleep out certain words.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll
All
see.
right.
Yeah, like this one. That chain.
We are rapidly approaching San Diego.
Yeah, this is not that bad of a drive.
Yeah.
No, we were a little concerned on the way here because the traffic was pretty gnarly getting out of LA, but now it's chilled out pretty much. I love performing in La Jolla. It's actually one of my favorite places to go and perform. I think partially because I have a little bit of nostalgia with it because it's one of the first places where I did like a road show that was like out of LA. And like I went down and spent like a weekend out of town doing gigs and stuff like that. So, yeah. What was one of your first places that you went like out of town on the road? Do you remember, Brian?
Well, I used to open up for Rogan, so that I would just go on the road all the time with him. Yeah. But by myself would probably be maybe La Jolla. Maybe it was that or San Jose. Maybe I think it was San Jose Improv, or Ohio. No, it was Ohio. I'm not even sure. It's all...
Let's get into this next segment called Fanning Out.
Fanning out questions from fans.
All right, I reached out to the good people in the Kill Tony Reddit section and asked them if they could ask Brian, Joel, Janice, or myself any questions. What would they be? Or even some character suggestions. By the way, I want to clear this up. When I ask on my social media for the Jeremiah Wonders character suggestions, I'm not asking for Kill Tony character suggestions. I'm asking for more improv scenarios for me and the guest to do because people will comment, which, there's some good ideas in there as well, but it's more specific to the episode rather than like the grand scheme of like what Joel, Chroma Chris, and I are going to be doing in the future. So there you go. This one is from Purdy_Toasted on Reddit. Redban, will you ever do a podcast like Ice House Chronicles again? You're going to start that up again, right?
Yeah. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I changed the name from Ice House Chronicles to Death Squad Chronicles for this very reason, just so I could continue the podcast on. And how we're going to do it is still kind of trying to figure that out. But what it's going to be pretty much is going to be the same feel as a Death Squad Chronicles. I'm probably going to have about 6 or 7 comics, and we're all just going to smoke weed and hang out in like a circle, which is pretty much what Death Squad Chronicles was. And so I was thinking about even maybe having it before or after our shows at the Ice House, or maybe just having it like a random, like every Sunday or something like that. But yeah, look, a guy's riding a bicycle on the side of the highway at 10 speed. Anyway, so look for that very soon.
That was weird.
It was very weird. It was very strange.
Wait, he's beating us. He's going faster than the car. Oh, no. It's David Goggins.
I'll address this one at Jeekles69, Redditor. Jeremiah, please film more stand-up on the spot and release it on YouTube. It's what the people want. Please tell other people what I'm about to say, because I've repeated myself a few times on this particular topic. It's very special when I am allowed to record the stand-up on the spots. It's not something that I can typically do for various reasons. I have to get all the comics' permission, and that's not quite as easy as you would think it would be. And some people just don't want to be filmed because they are using the show for different purposes than to be recorded. They're using that as a way to mine material for their act. I look at it as a different thing because I have an improv background, so I wouldn't care if we filmed all the shows, but it's more kind of keeping safe the integrity of what the comics are working on. If they're okay with releasing it, then, I think I'll do a show eventually. Like, I like to drop episodes, maybe a couple times a year that's realistic, but I might actually go to a different location than the Comedy Store and maybe film like a stand-up on the spot special every once in a while or do something like that. But as far as that goes, when you guys ask questions on the Instagram and stuff, some of the comics actually come to me, and it actually doesn't make me look great because they think I'm secretly filming the show because you guys are referring to past episodes. So if you would not do that, then that would be great. and that's
when we used to do Thunder Pussy. Same thing. A lot of people were like, I don't want that online, or maybe they didn't like their spot and they don't want it, and it caused a lot of, it was hard to do, like having that, we ran into that a lot.
One of my favorite old Thunder Pussy episodes is with Tiffany Haddish. That I don't even know it. I don't even think the footage is up anymore because of Vimeo. But we had her, whenever I interviewed her, she would queef into the mic after she did her set. She's great, man. She's like that's one of those shows where I wish that people could see how good she is, like, in the moment, because she is phenomenal, just like riffing and just because she's so her, just being raw in that show. There's a lot of people like that who are busy now, who haven't done the show in a long time, like Gerard. Gerard used to be like one of those regulars of the show that used to come by, and he's just one of those people who just takes to it very naturally. So hopefully that answers your question in in the nicest way possible. This is interesting. Frozen Dead Dub has a few questions. This Redditor says, Redban, what is your favorite test product you recall from your hometown that didn't make it out? It's a pretty good question.
I guess it would be, that's a good
Sisters?
question. Sisters Chicken and Biscuits, probably. So Wendy's had a KFC version. What they wanted, they had a chicken place that was supposed to go in competition with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it was called Sisters Chicken and Biscuits. And just like KFC, their logo was three old women instead of an old guy, and their shit was good. It, like, legit as good, if not better, than KFC. And I actually preferred it over KFC. And they had a couple stores in Columbus. I don't know how far out of Columbus they did, but they closed them down. That, and probably the other one was Rax, which I think was a little bit more nationwide, in the Midwest at least. And Rax was their version of Arby's. So
I thought you were gonna say Hooters.
Yeah.
Wow. I would have loved to try that. And anytime somebody's like, I like this over this other mainstream thing, I'm like, oh, that's why I think that was part of the reason why the Popeyes thing took off so much, is because it was basically challenging something that's so huge, where people are like, what are you talking about? Chick-fil-A is the best. I will stand by saying that I think Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich is better than Chick-fil-A's, but Chick-fil-A still holds the belt for the original. Joelberg, if you could be involved in a Hollywood scandal with one individual, who would it be?
Oh man, scandal. A Hollywood individual. I'm trying to think, because now I'm thinking, like, what's the scandal?
I mean, I guess you could make it up, dude.
Dang. I don't know if it'd be somebody I like or somebody I hate. Let's see. Hollywood scandal. I don't know. Tony Hawk.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, so you're involved in a scandal with Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
What went down?
Blowjobs.
No, I don't know. There's so many. Honestly, I'll take anything I can get at this point.
What if he is really good at drums and he beat you in a contest?
Oh, okay. Hollywood scandal. I beat Dave Grohl in a drum off. He's better than me on stage, but somehow I summon the power of hell and the audience body surfs me out of the Comedy Store, and then we start a beef, but then we make up, and then I'm really good friends with Dave Grohl.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this.
That's good.
Hollywood scandal. Who would you guys like to see me in a Hollywood scandal with?
Stormy Daniels.
Well,
I think Hollywood scandal does kind of imply something sexual.
yeah.
I think. I mean, there's other things, but
Kevin Spacey.
There you go. Yeah, you find out.
But then again, this this Shane Gillis thing is considered a Hollywood scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm
As
terrified of that all the time. Like, after every Kill Tony, I'm like, what clip are they gonna take me down with? But
Yeah, but that's the good thing about what we do. We don't care about what TV does
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
for
We're
sure.
making they found this old podcast where I whatever, I do this and that. Like, I don't give a fuck because I'm not trying to, be on NBC, I'd rather be on the internet. And the shit we do right now, Kill Tony, if it becomes on TV, that's the whole, that's the whole show. So anyway, it's more raw and real, and if you're crying about it, we don't give a fuck.
yeah, we don't need you. Just kidding. I still want
Until you do.
Yeah, I know. That's my problem. I know. You're right. I love you, Hollywood.
Whoa. Easy boy. Easy. Do you have a name for this Tesla?
Death Squad. It's just called Death Squad.
Oh.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Definitely a girl.
Of course, it's Brian. Okay. Let's see here.
Well, all
Well-
of Brian's pillows are boys.
Wait a
Whoa.
minute. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Okay. Big news just dropping on Jeremiah Wonders. Why are all of Brian's pillows boys?
Tell them their names.
What?
Oh.
All right. I call my pillows names. I have names for my pillows just because we have 6 pillows on our bed. So I'll be like, hey, where's that one flat pillow? No, the other one that and so instead of doing that, I jokingly started calling them names. Now I sleep with 3 pillows. Actually, can you hold it? I sleep with 3 pillows. One is a flat pillow, and it's called
His name is Scott.
Scott. And then I have this thing that looks like a seal or a dolphin or something like that. And that's the one I kind of hold at night, squeeze. And that's Scott.
No, that's Jeff.
No, Jeff. And then
You have Jeff Scott?
I realized
That's a piano player at the world famous Comedy Store.
the gay piano player from the Comedy Store. Yes, I
Whoa, he's more
figured
than
that out recently. And I told Jeff about it just so he doesn't feel creeped out. Totally
my God.
unrelated to Jeff Scott. I originally named one Jeff a long time ago, and as a joke called the other one Scott. And then I have a third one, which is not a guy, and that's just called Teabag. And that's the one that you go between your legs.
Gender
And just-
neutral.
Yeah, it's gender neutral. It's a transgender pillow. And the only reason it's called Teabag because it's so old that it looks like tea. It looks like brown.
It looks like an old tea bag.
Yeah, it looks like it's been
used tea
shit
bag.
on a million times and washed.
I put 2 pillowcases on that one.
Wow. That was a lot of insight.
Double
And
bagging, dude.
How many pillows do you guys sleep with?
I have 2. They're both flat as shit. I need to get new ones.
I have 2 underneath my neck right now.
I need a new mattress. So if anybody out there wants to sponsor me with a mattress, I'll take it. I want free stuff. I want so much
Tell
free
them what
stuff.
size.
I'll take a full size.
California King.
I don't think that'll fit in my room. I want to have space for anything else.
This one comes from Chow Monster, Redditor. Question for Janice. Tell us about yourself. We see you in pics with Redban, but not really talking. Please share your backstory and how you met Brian, if you would like. We talked about how they met, but yeah, share a little bit about yourself, Janice. Where are you originally from, and how long you been in LA and all that stuff?
Well, I grew up in LA, kind of like in the outskirts. It's technically LA County, but it has more of an Orange County vibe. Can I say the city? I'm from Cerritos, so very, very predominantly Asian community.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went up to school in San Francisco, studied advertising, and then I moved back home because I couldn't afford San Francisco.
San Francisco is so expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't know you
It's
went to
crazy.
college up there.
And the job I was working was like, like college minimum wage kind of stuff. So
Right.
it was hard. And then I came here and then I just kind of fucked around for a bit. And now I'm just here. Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to know what kind of Asian I am? I'm Korean. It's like every white dude's first question at me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How tired of you of getting that question? Because nobody ever comes up to me and is like, "Where are you from, man?" You know what I mean? Like,
What type of white are
like,
you,
Yeah,
man?
like I never ever get that question. The only question I get is, "Are you Jewish?" And that's strictly a nose thing. It's strictly that.
I know somebody who's believed it for a few years.
Keeping that on the DL.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an ongoing running joke that George Perez thinks I'm Jewish.
You know, one fun fact about Janice is, and I always thought this was hilarious, but it actually makes sense, that instead of using like tampons or maxi pads, she just buys a box of Band-Aids. She just uses a Band-Aid, and then because there's like 100 Band-Aids for like $3.
If you're wondering if the Asian stereotype of how small Asian pussies are, there you go.
Okay, I cannot tell if you guys are lying, if you're doubling up on me, because here's the thing. The only reason why I'm believing this is because in the snack bag that Janice and Brian brought are Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, and Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Brought a box of maxi pads right here.
There we go.
There's freaking Band-Aids right here.
Look at that. And see, they're the bigger ones too, so she can.
And they say Max. You can't spell
Max.
Maxi without Max.
Max hold your blood inside.
Okay, this can't be real.
I can barely get pregnant.
What, your gullibility?
I can barely get pregnant.
You have to put it on a chopstick, just one cum.
One drop is all it takes.
Oh my God.
I love this is what's so funny to me about like the like just their relationship is like how like supportive they are with like the most random bizarre things, like, oh yeah like my vagina's microscopic. It's a micro vagina.
I'm depressed. I'm just kidding. You guys are fucking. Ugh.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. This is an interesting one. Actually, let's take a. Oh no. There's more people confusing us trying to take character suggestions for Kill Tony rather than in this car. What's funny, Original David Redditor said, would Joelberg consider doing a show where he challenges pro drummers to drum-offs but always wins through antics even when the drummers are world-class?
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm already on a show that does that.
Yeah. Original David, ask Redban if he would rather F a very clean chimp in a dress or a woman that smells like a chimp.
A woman that smells like a chimp.
Very well. I like the professional response. A lot of people have been asking me about this. I guess I'll answer this question. A lot of people asked me about Shane, especially since Shane was just on Kill Tony. Snelson _or_else_son.
Ew, that one was
Redban's using the fart machine for when he changes lanes. This is great, and love this camera angle too. So people, this is the question: is they said, "Hey Jeremiah, I was wondering if Shane Gillis' firing at SNL made you reevaluate your dream of landing a spot on the cast."
Good question.
Do you think that's a good question?
Yeah, because honestly, I get why SNL did it, but I don't think they should have done that.
I understand why they kind of had to.
Yeah.
Because I think honestly, if he wouldn't have said the C word, he would have been fine, and he could apologize for doing a voice. I think that people would have been like, whatever, like the stuff. But like, since he used a racial slur, I think that was kind of the issue with it, maybe. But we all know Shane, and I don't think that there was any ill will behind that. I think that he was clearly just being silly with a friend on a podcast and kind of talking extreme just because it's like, oh, nobody's ever going to listen to this, which leads me to my theory is that a comedian tipped off industry to that video. There's no way the industry are scrubbing podcasts, going through 20 minutes deep into a podcast. There's
I don't know though now.
Dude, I really don't think so, because when Pat and I did that NBC show, the stuff that came up was that they wanted me to pull from my Twitter and stuff like that was tweets and different videos with keywords in them. They were using an algorithm to search for things that were maybe going to be problematic for a network like NBC.
Yeah.
So I think that, what's frustrating to me about the whole thing is like the people who like are like really upset about it, who are comedians, they still want a job on that show. Like all of their posts, like being like, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe like they would hire somebody like this." So many farts. I can't believe they'd hire somebody like this, and then they would end their post with, "But if you're still looking for a cast member SNL, then I'm your person." It's like, you're getting wrong. You're getting mad for the wrong reason if you are actively wanting to be on the show. I still would like to be on a show like SNL. Maybe it isn't SNL, but I would like to be on some form of like a weekly sketch show, whether it be live or pre-taped or something. But I mean, yeah, there's like a lot of history with the show where I feel like, I would like to be a part of something like that if it's not SNL, if that can answer your question. But I'm very grateful that we have the outlet like Kill Tony, where we are getting to create our own characters every week on Kill Tony. But my goal with those characters is to put them on to something where you kind of hear from their backstories a little bit more, because we can only get out so much of the characters' backstories when we're being different things. So I think that there's other avenues and other worlds where they can be on Kill Tony simultaneously, and also you get to know them on like a sketch show as well.
That's an interesting concept too, like you owning those characters as like intellectual property.
Oh,
where
I mean, that's one of the benefits of doing the show.
Does that happen on a show of like SNL or something, or they basically own that thing?
So Jimmy Fallon, and there's been a handful of other cast members who in their contracts say, the characters that I come in with on the show, I own these property of. And you have to sign something on SNL. Any character that you create on the show, they own. So if you create it's so hard to stay on topic when the farts are keeping coming in every time Redban changes a lane. They own the rights to any character that is created on the show while you're there. So then they have more percentage of like, the merch and the marketing, the different advertising and stuff that they do with that, if that makes sense. That's all very behind the scene, nerdy, like SNL knowledge that I have. But anyway, let's see here. This is from Kurt Fan 182. What are your major event moments that got you to where you are today? Those things that when you look back and realize, if this hadn't happened at that moment, I wouldn't be here. Is there any moments like in comedy or something, or that led you to down the comedy path where you're like, this is a significant thing where if this wouldn't have happened, then these chain of events wouldn't have happened? Brian Redban, go.
Absolutely, Joe Rogan hiring me. The video I filmed and edited, Joe Rogan versus Carlos Mencia, and probably co-creating Joe Rogan podcast and doing the Death Squad podcast. Those 4 things, probably.
Joel?
I mean, playing drums, probably when my parents got me a kit for Christmas. Meeting Pat Reagan for sure is a big one, and I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. I guess like doing theater, I guess, because that got me into that world of like performing, and then meeting somebody who did improv, and then because I used to think stand-up was impossible, and then when I started doing improv, I was like, oh, like things I say make people laugh, so maybe it is possible. So I'd say those 3 things.
Nice.
Dropping out of high school, just kidding, just made me work harder for stuff
Yeah.
because I was scared.
Janice, do you have any moments in your life where you're like, if this wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't be at this place?
I don't know. I guess.
Fleeing North Korea.
Oh yeah, that
Oh
was
my
major. I don't know. I think yeah, I don't know, because if I hadn't gotten a smartphone finally, because I got a smartphone super late in the game, then I wouldn't have had Snapchat. I would never have met Brian.
Aww. Lucky
That's
there.
true, man.
Yeah.
Just getting a smartphone or the internet, like connecting to this bigger picture.
Yeah, internet.
Yeah.
There we go. That's smarter.
These little stupid parts when Brian changes lanes. For me, I think that there's a handful of things, kind of a little, somewhat similar to Joel. I would have never guessed that me taking lessons and learning saxophone all those years ago would be incorporated in multiple projects. I think another one is creating the show Stand Up on the Spot. The cool people and that I've met through that show has been really rewarding, and just like it's given some really great comics bits that are either in their act or they've recorded on specials. Another one is honestly Tony and Brian meeting Tony, Benji, and Brian, those 3 guys specifically through the Comedy Store, changed a lot of things on the trajectory of me meeting people and just like going up more and feeling like a part of the community there at the Comedy Store, which led to a lot of different things, which plugged me into different shows, which those were like kind of big for me. There. I think also my parent.
I hope they can hear the farts in it.
And if not, otherwise it's like I'm just like the craziest person laughing at these life events. There's literally farts like.
You might just have to add farts if they don't.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's.
Farts.
I don't even know what's going on. I think that. I think my parents' divorce had a big part
sure,
of certain life events, that like chain of events kind of moments that happened, which pushed me into. There's a moment where I was thinking about joining the army because I just wanted to leave home and not I just wanted to be a part. You know what I mean? You want to be a part of something, and I wanted money, and I was like, oh, I can pay for school this way. I was looking into. I would have been such a different person had I gone into the military.
I thought of another one. I found this little kid's bass drum at a thrift store that I bought, and I would have never fit in the belly room had I not like bought that.
Wow.
So it's just crazy.
Well, let's get into this final segment of the show. I haven't prepped Janice on this. Hopefully she's willing to share something. This final segment is called Sax Talk.
Oh, I know what this is.
Oh, Sax Talk. All right, so I prepped Janice. She's going to share a story of a sexual encounter. It could even be with Brian Redban, or it could be before Brian Redban. We don't know.
Wow.
And I want to play some sweet, sweet sax underneath.
Sax sounds
Oh
a
my
lot like the
God.
Tesla turn signal.
Whenever you're ready, Janice, we will begin.
I'm ready.
Bingo.
Oh, I just start talking about it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not ready. Let me think.
Hey Joel, will you hold
Alright.
a mic kind of like over your mic like in the like this way?
To the sax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this one time, I was dating a coworker, and it was just, we're just bored. Pretty much all we did was like have sex. It was like a fuck buddy situation, and I was living at home, and he was also living at home with our parents. Not our shared parents, just our own individual parents. And so we would have to get creative in like finding places to have sex. So this one time we went to the park, and it was nighttime, like super late. I forget what time, but it was like when all the lights were out. They put out the lights. So we couldn't see anything, and then we just went at it. So the order of it was this, where he whatchamacallit? Oh my god, this is actually nastier than I thought. The order of it was, we did regular P&B, and then I gave
What's P&B?
penis and vagina.
Oh, they said B. I thought it was pussy and boner.
Oh, hot dog in the hallway.
Purple butt.
And then I gave him a blowjob. It's a weird order. And then we, made out. And then he started saying things like, "You taste weird right now." I was like, and then that made me start noticing. I was like, oh man, that tastes weird. You're right. Like maybe I bled or something in my mouth. Like maybe I bit my tongue. And then later I got home, I realized I had started my period.
What a lucky guy. Well, that was some.
That's my girl.
A standing ovation from Brian Redban.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't tell if Brian was flinching from the sax in the car or him hearing Janice talk about another guy.
Both. I've never actually ever heard her.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wow. Okay. Well, Brian turned a corner a little bit too fast, and that was the closest we've come to wrecking on a roadcast. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't fart the whole way through. Like,
And that's the last time I'll ever tell that story.
Wow. Okay. Well, guys, this has been quite the exciting roadcast. Do you guys want to plug anything before we go? We're just about to the La Jolla Comedy Store. Brian?
Well, of course, Kill Tony Australia and all those dates coming up. Every first and third Friday, I still do the Death Squad show at the Ice House. So a lot of Kill Tony people are on it. A lot of, like, you see me take people from the audience, or I mean, take people that did good on Kill Tony and give them a spot there. So it's very fun, especially if you're a Kill Tony fan. And DeathSquad.tv. Look for a bunch of new podcasts coming very soon.
Joel, what do you got?
everything Brian said. Caveman Coffee. Use the code word KillTony. Who else gives us stuff? Oh, LA Speedweed. Just thanks for all the support, guys. You guys are great. Somebody send me a mattress, please.
Janice,
Full
anything you got coming up you want to plug?
Not really.
Follow Kill Tony on Twitter at Kill Tony, and also check out Janice's art. It's really
Thank
good.
you.
I really like your drawings.
Well, on Instagram, I'm Janice, JANICEMI and then on Twitter, I'm Missing Toe 420.
Where does Missing Toe come from, by the way?
That's when I first met Brian, and he wanted to keep my identity anonymous to his followers. So he
Oh.
would just call me Missing Toe.
Oh, okay. I get that. I understand that.
It made people think that she was missing a toe, so she was gross also.
Wow. The deep mind of Brian Redban.
Well, what names didn't happen?
Yeah.
Shit
What,
girl.
yeah. What were the Twitter handles that didn't make the cut?
Period. Blowjob.
Yeah. Also, to answer that question, I didn't want to just say like be emo and be like my parents' divorce shaped most of my life. Is also there's a lot of good things like like being growing up with a supportive family, and also honestly going to church so much, that is a huge, whether or not where I'm at with things now, that's still a huge part of if I had never gone to church, it'd be very interesting, like an alternate timeline of secular Jeremiah. Ooh, naughty. But check out shopsquad.tv for all the Death Squad merch. Yeah, very edgy. The Bison t-shirt is up at jeremiahwatkins.com, as well as on Shop Squad, and Kill Tony band calendars are up as well, and Jeremiah Wonders t-shirts. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been another Roadcast of Jeremiah Wonders. Anything else to say before we sign off, guys?
Bye.
Redban's sleeping again.
Oh, no, asleep at the wheel.
Jeremiah Wonders.